Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel. We are at match day 21 already. We had a slight little break this weekend, of course, to allow for the FA Cup to be played, but now we're right back in the thick of it with midweek action and then action on the weekend. So we better get to it and predict match day 21. Before we do, please, if you are liking the content, please feel free to like, subscribe and press the little bell notification. Before we get stuck into this round of matches, let's have a little recap on the table, should we? In first place is still Liverpool, 6 points ahead with 46 points and a match in hand. Second and third are joint on 40 points. That's, of course, Arsenal and Nottingham Forest. Further behind in fourth with 36 points is Chelsea. Newcastle move up to fifth. They are on 35 points. Manchester City, back-to-back wins, are now on 34 points. Bournemouth flying high in seventh with 33 points. Aston Villa, eighth with 32 points. Fulham are ninth with 30 points, and Brighton make up the top 10. They are in 10th with 28 points. In 11th, Brentford with 27 points, and lowly Tottenham and Manchester United in 12th and 13th respectively with 24 and 23 points. Further back on goal difference only is West Ham on 23 points. Then we have Crystal Palace in 15th with 21 points. Everton just above the relegation zone by a point with 17 points in 16th. Wolves are 17th with 16 points. And then the bottom three are the three promoted teams in this order: Ipswich, Leicester and Southampton. So let's get rocking with this round of action, should we? And the weekend kicks off with Brentford at home to Manchester City. Man City have won the last three games between these two teams and are coming off the back of 3 straight wins in all competitions. Brentford, of course, suffered an absolutely embarrassing loss to the bottom place Championship side in Plymouth and will be looking to redeem themselves. Man City looking to continue their recent winning form here with a win at the G-Tech. But we've seen how City have defended this season, and they're very, very get-atable, which is not even a word. But if it was a word, Umbuemo and Visa might just expose them to that. But I am going to back Manchester City here, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win for Manchester City. Next, we have Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Chelsea are on the back of 4 games without a win in the Premier League as their title challenge has taken a dramatic nosedive. Bournemouth are unbeaten in their last 8 outings and will take some beating. Chelsea continue to look vulnerable at the back and are guilty of missing chance after chance at the other end as they deny they need a striker. Chelsea won 1-0 away at Bournemouth early in the season, but let's be honest, I would not be surprised if Bournemouth get a positive result here, even if it is away from home at the mighty Stamford Bridge. I am going to go for a 1-1 draw. Next, we have the first of 2 London derbies this weekend. It's West Ham versus Fulham. This week sees Graham Potter make his official Premier League debut for West Ham after they decided to part ways with Julian Lopetegui. We saw some good signs in the FA Cup as they lost to Aston Villa. Fulham are unbeaten in their last 6 matches, although 5 of them have been draws, which means Silver's team are proving very, very hard to beat. So could we see another positive result here? I am going for new manager bounce back, Potter to get the best out of West Ham and for them to win 1-0 at home. Next we have, Nottingham Forest versus Liverpool. Top of the table clash. Who would have thought that before the season got underway? Forest have inflicted the only blemish on Slot's otherwise perfect start to life in Merseyside. Forest coming off the back of 7 straight wins in all competitions and will be looking to flex their title credentials here. A win will be fucking huge, as it could allow them and Arsenal, if they win, to be within 3 points of Liverpool, be it, of course, Liverpool have that game in hand. Liverpool drew last time out against Manchester United. That was a 2-2 draw, and they will be looking for a bounce back here. But Forest will be very hard to defeat. And I think they're going to be able to contain Liverpool, so I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Next, we have Everton versus Aston Villa. Who would have thought it? 11 years after leaving the Blues for a failed attempt at the big time, David Moyes is back in charge at Goodison Park. And I, for one, am totally confused. Because if one of the reasons was the way that Dyche is playing football, you have essentially gone and hired the exact same manager. Whatever it is, Everton are deep in a relegation battle here, and we'll be looking for that new manager bounce back, all that, romantic story of Moyes returning. Villa will be looked to continue where they left off before the small break, and I think they will, and I'm going for a 2-0 away win for Aston Villa. Next, we have Leicester versus Palace. Ruud van Nistelrooy's men are in desperate need of a result, having lost their last 5 games, which has seen them move into the bottom 2. Although a win here and results elsewhere could see them as high as 16th come the end of this round. Palace have been in much better form, having lost only 1 of their last 6 matches, and will be hoping for another positive result here. Leicester really need to get a grip on leaking goals and possibly scoring more at the other end, but I think we might see a positive result here, so I'm going for a 2-1 win for Leicester. Next, we have Newcastle versus Wolves. If there is one team you do not want to play at the moment, it has got to be free-scoring Newcastle. Isak, Gordon, Guimaraes, Joelinton are all on fire right now. 5 wins in a row, 1 foot in the League Cup final, progression in the FA Cup. Everything is looking rosy at Newcastle, and I can't see past a win here. Wolves possibly will have Cunha back for suspension, but I still don't think that will be enough to overturn Newcastle, so I'm going for a 3-0 home win for Newcastle. Next, we have Arsenal versus Spurs, the North London derby, the second derby of the week, and it's a big one. Arsenal just dumped out of the FA Cup, lost 2-0 at home to Newcastle in the League Cup, while Spurs made an absolute fucking meal of beating Tamworth just 3 or 4 days after they rolled over Liverpool. Spurs will be boosted by the fact that Saka, Nwaneri and Jesus all seem to be injured, so Arsenal's attacking threat is definitely less than normal. But Spurs will need to be on their game here, and they want to get a result out of this, as they've only won 1 of their last 5 matches. And I know I'm going to piss off some fans here, but I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for a 3-2 away win for Spurs. They're going to show up. They're going to make things awkward. They're going to be kamikaze football, and Arsenal are not going to know what to do about it. And Mikel Arteta is going to blame the shape of the ball. Next, we have Ipswich versus Brighton. Ipswich will be hoping to secure another win against draw kings. Brighton have drawn 5 of their last 6 matches, which has seen them drop down to 10th in the table. A win here for Ipswich will see them move out of the relegation zone. Brighton, of course, will be looking to get back to winning ways, but I think we could see a solid and resolute Ipswich here, which we have seen recently in recent weeks, and I think they will have enough, just enough, to claim a victory, so I'm going for a 1-0 home win for Ipswich. And to finish the week off, we have Manchester United versus Southampton. What a week it's been for Amorims United. A brilliant 2-2 draw at Liverpool, followed by dumping Arsenal out of the FA Cup with 10 men. The last 2 matches, we've seen the players really look like they've started to understand Amorim's system more, and the team selection looks way more consistent and better. Amorim's criticism, of course, after the Liverpool match was, why the fuck can't you boys do it week in, week out? Why do we have to wait to play one of the better teams to show that we really want it, that we can really perform? So he thinks, and I think a lot of people think, this is more for real test for United against Southampton. A Southampton team that's absolutely desperate to get a win from somewhere. 6 points in the league. But considering they did lose to Erik ten Hag's Manchester United 3-0 at home in the reverse fixture early this season, I don't think week they start their comeback, so I'm going for a comfortable 3-0 home win for Manchester United. There you go, guys. There's my predictions for Matchday 21. Please let me know if you agree or disagree, and until next time, stay safe.